All right, we're at 48 degrees, mostly cloudy right now. Berry City. Live from the ASB Financial Studios and Fly on the Wall Productions. Main Street. North Main Street, I guess, technically. Man, I'll tell you, I have been looking forward to having this kid on the podcast since, I think, last year, Raylene, right? Yes. Yeah, last year. We've been trying for a year to get you on, Kaiden Fisher. How the hell are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good.
Dude, you're 14 years old right now.
Yeah, 14. In September, I turn 15 and hopefully get my permit.
Do you think that you'll have any trouble getting your learner's permit to drive?
Well, I don't know. I've heard from a couple people that you have to drive with 1 foot.
Yes. As opposed to 2.
Yeah, which I mostly drive in race cars too, so that'll be a little different.
Yeah.
But other than that, hopefully there won't be any difficult parts.
All right. There's other things with the car on the road, okay? You got a bunch of jerk drivers out there that you're driving with who are not paying attention. They're texting, they're putting on makeup, they're eating, they're listening to the radio, they're not paying attention. That's where things can get dangerous, driving.
Yeah.
These roads right here, bud.
Well, yeah. Hopefully my reflexes will still be quick from racing, and hopefully I don't get in any wrecks.
Yeah, and you got to use mirrors and stuff. There's a ton of multitasking.
Yeah. We got mirrors in race cars. You use them a little bit, but not a ton.
Brother, you are at 14 now. You had your first win at Thunder Road when you were 12?
Yeah. I was 12 years old at Thunder Road, and I don't remember where I started, but thought I came from a little bit ways back, and I came up through the pack. That was really like the first race my crew chief Brad really helped with the car, and we got it going good, and I was learning the track, and I got around the guy in the lead, and I held on from there, and the season just kept getting better and better from there.
Have you ever been on the radio?
No, this is my first time ever.
Oh my God. You better get used to it, pal. Because you're going to have many more microphones shoved in your face like this. Trust me.
Hopefully.
you haven't been interviewed by Dave Moody yet?
No, not yet.
That's coming.
Hope so.
And when it does, buckle up, because he gets into the thick of it real fast. You're the youngest champion in Thunder Road history.
Yeah, that was last year. I won the championship. I had 3 wins, I think, but mostly I just stayed consistent in the top 5 and top 10, and I finished every race, and I think that was the key to winning it.
So this was last September, the RK Miles Street Stock champion at age 13.
Yep. Yeah, I don't really.
How does that feel? Do you realize how profound that is?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I feel like being yourself, you don't really notice it as much as like how young you really are. You just feel like you're one of the other racers when you're out there. You don't really think that you're younger than them. You just think of them as racers.
See, now you're talking like an adult. Street Stock Rookie of the Year in 2020.
Yeah, that year it was really close competition in the Rookie of the Year with his name's Luke Peters. Me and him, I only won it over him by like 1 point, I think, the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. So you're already building a trophy shelf.
Yeah, in my basement I have a couple trophies. Most of them are from go-karts, but I have a couple from cars.
So let's talk about the go-karts. This is where you started scratching the itch. Go-karts, Groveton, Speedway 51, which is now Riverside.
Yeah, so how I actually got started there was I got offered to practice a go-kart, and I went there and I practiced the go-karts, and I really liked it there. And so we went home that night, and I talked about it with my dad, and then we found a go-kart, and then the next day I came home, and the garage was open, and it was in the back of his truck.
What?
Yeah, so I had a go-kart to go race the next weekend, and we went there, and we unloaded it. We were not quite at the top of the speed charts, but we were pretty fast, and we made some adjustments, and we went out in the heat race, and I won the heat race, and then I went on to win the feature in my first ever go-kart race over there.
What part was Mom part of this decision to get this go-kart?
She was never really against it. I knew she was a little bit nervous, but yeah, I think she
Did she know that that you and Dad were going to be talking about this?
No, not really.
That's awesome. And next thing you know, it's in your garage.
Yeah. And then we went on to race the full season over there, and I actually ended up winning the championship in the junior mini pro class over there.
Have you heard about this little kid driver also? Number 18X, Walker Fitch.
Actually, I went over there, I think 2 years ago maybe, to watch go-karts again, and he was there racing. I've only ever seen him race once, but I've definitely watched him race, and I think he actually won that day.
Yeah, very good driver. He was sitting here a couple of months ago.
I don't believe I watched that one, but I'll have to go home and watch that.
Oh yeah, man, you watch that one. I'm not. How old is he now? 10? I think he's 10. He might be 11, but Marcel Gravel has got him under the wing and working with him. And this kid's going to be red hot too. Remember that name?
Okay, I will.
Remember that name, Walker Fitch. So you're going to be 15 years old on September 26th.
Yep.
This coming.
Yeah, 15, and then I'll be going on to high school.
Where are you going to go to high school?
CVU.
All right. So right now you're in 8th grade, Shelburne Community School.
Yep. I've been there since kindergarten. I've always been there. It's a good school. I have a lot of friends there. Not many of them are into racing, though.
Yeah. So you had to convince Mom to schlep you from Shelburne all the way to Barrie today.
Yeah, it was an hour ride. It wasn't that bad though. It went by pretty quick.
Do you ever feel like saying, "Mom, pull over. I'll take the wheel here." Are you anxious to drive out on the roads?
Yeah, a little bit. My goal is I want to buy my first vehicle, so I've been working hard to do that. I want to buy my first vehicle. I don't want my parents or my grandparents to help me out at all. I just want to try and do it on my own.
Bro. That's the best thing I've heard. That's one of the best things I've ever heard in this podcast. Dude, I was the same way when I was 15, 16. My dad, and I'll never forget it, my dad was like, I came home from school one day and said to Mom and Dad, all my friends at school, their parents are buying them cars. And my dad got me a lawnmower, and he said, "There's your first car. Go out and mow lawns this summer and buy your own first car." And I bought a 73 Chevy C10 pickup for $600.
Wow, you couldn't find that now.
No. Here's the best part. Mustard yellow.
Oh, just like my race car.
Yes. Dude, I've loved fewer things in my life. That was like, and I had the rainbow fluffy dice hanging from the rear view. I mean, this was, I put my own Pioneer sound system in it. That's living right there, brother. And the fact that you just said that warms my heart. that you want to earn your first car. I mean, you're never going to appreciate something more than when you buy it yourself and you take care of it. Now, do you turn wrenches? Do you want to know all that stuff, or you just like to drive?
So my crew chief Brad, he helps me a lot with my race car, but I go down there probably 4 or 5 nights a week, and I clean it and I check stuff over. I can do oil changes and wheel bearings and weekly maintenance stuff, but when it comes to setup and stuff like that, that's Brad's what he does. He helps a lot with that.
Can you do the wheel bearings on my car right now? Who's your favorite driver? Any division, whether it's Thunder Road, ACT Tour, doesn't matter. Who's your favorite driver?
Well, it probably would be my dad, but he doesn't.
Tell me about your dad, Jamie Fisher.
He used to race, I think, like 1999 or so.
Okay.
I don't really know exactly, but he raced late models for probably 20 years, 18 years, something around there. He won the championship at Thunder Road and over at Devil's Bowl. He won a lot of races at Thunder Road, did the ACT Tour. He used to race a lot, and he helps me a lot on the track and teaches me and tells me what I can do a little bit better and things like that.
He's not your crew chief, though?
Nope. He definitely knows what's going on.
What's his official title?
Dad? Yeah.
Does he straighten you out every now and then when you start going astray?
He definitely teaches me, but he not much more than that. He'll just tell me what I did wrong, and he'll help me out.
Yeah. Mom, dad, brother, sister?
No, I'm the only one.
You're the only one. So the fact that you're the only one, that's and you're starting to do this racing, that's got to make Mom's hair get a little gray. Is that happening?
Yeah. When she's up in the stands, I know nobody likes to stand around her because she screams and throws her arms around and things like that.
Yeah. Does she have a little redneck in her?
Not really. She's more like, I wouldn't say city. She likes snowmobiling and things like that, but...
So she's a hybrid.
Yeah.
I mean, is she the type of mom that's screaming and yelling and spilling her beer all over herself when you're out there doing well?
No. She just... I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't see her that often up there, but...
Yeah. She's probably hiding in the car somewhere. But the fact that you're the only child in the family, I mean, that's big time, dude. You have to understand that mom and dad both they're kind of geared differently. You know, Lily is my only child, so I mean, I'm geared differently. We're a little overprotective. So that's interesting. That's an interesting dynamic that you're the only kid. What about Brad Keselowski? Are you going to meet him during the Governor's Cup 150, July 14th?
Possibly. I know the guy that helped him connect with Chris Mashad. He actually used to work on my dad's car, and now he helps Brad Keselowski. I think he sets up his meetings and stuff.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you get a chance to meet him.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
So who do you look up to the most? Is it mom? Is it dad? When stuff's going on, when things are, you feel maybe a little bit of pressure to do well. Who do you go to for some insight on how to manage that?
Definitely my dad. He helps me and tells me what I can do better, how I can get through a corner better. But also my crew chief Brad, he helps me. So advice from both of them really goes a long ways.
Now I have to ask you, speaking for Dad, how come he's not racing?
Well, he's really busy with work and stuff, but he since I started racing, I think it was the first year I started racing. He was busy trying to make sure my stuff was all good.
Sure.
And he didn't have as much time to do his own, and now that's all he does is help me.
Plus, this is let's be honest, it's a tad bit pricey.
Yeah, definitely. Racing's not a cheap sport.
No, not at all. Tell me about an experience that you had back in the 80s with Tom Curley.
I was definitely not around.
All right, what about the 1990s with Tom Curley?
No.
Still weren't around then?
No.
Did you ever get a chance to meet Tom Curley?
I definitely saw him, but I don't think I really ever talked to him or anything.
What about Ken Squire?
No, I never really knew him either. I definitely saw him at Thunder Road, but not much more than that.
What about Dave Moody?
I definitely know him. Milk Bowl last year, he came over. He was talking to my dad, talked to me a little bit. And then we actually went and watched the 500 this year, and I saw him in the pits, and we talked for a little while.
Yeah. Dave's going to be interviewing you sometime, real soon. It's going to happen.
That'd be cool.
Make sure you tell him I told him that I knew this was going to happen. So, listen, this next question I'm going to get in a whole hell of a lot of trouble about, and that's all right. Other than girls, what else do you think about? Is it just racing, or do you like video games, or are you out playing with your friends? What do you think about? What do you do? What do you like?
Well, I do work on race cars a lot, but other than that, I do mountain biking some, and I snowmobile during the winter. But other than that, I hang out with my friends biking, but not much more than biking, racing, and snowmobiling.
Ah. Big snow machiner?
Well, this year I didn't snowmobile too much. The snow was there, and then it was gone.
Right.
But I snowmobile quite a bit.
What do you we just had Shay Wheeler on here a little while ago, last week or so. 14 years old. She's going into her first season as a street stock driver. Had never driven before. This is her first time driving. Doesn't even have her learner's permit. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's kind of like me. I did drive go-karts before that, so that definitely helped me out some.
That's right.
But yeah.
What do you think about? We had a parent who commented when Shay was on the podcast here, saying that 14 years old, way too young to be getting into this mess, to be out on a track driving way over the speed limit with a bunch of crazy adults. Super dangerous, and frankly, no business at such a young age doing something foolish like that.
Well, really, when I'm out there, I don't really think of the age difference. It's more, I think of just like as another racer. If I'm racing another kid, I don't think of them as the same age as me. I just kind of think of them as another racer out there on the track. I really don't know. The cars are all safe. You don't really see anybody get hurt. They got cages, seat belts, containment seats.
Fire suit?
Yep, fire suits. They're really, you'd have to, I don't know, you'd have to be doing like 200 miles an hour to get really hurt.
So you're not out there with like a bicycle helmet and some swim goggles?
No, definitely not. That's why the sport's so expensive with safety equipment and
the cage.
Yep, cage. That you definitely have to have one of those to race. You wouldn't make it out on the track.
Well, that's what I was kind of implying when we first started chatting, that, being out in the real world on these roads right behind you, that, and a lot of drivers, when they were watching that podcast and seeing these comments unfold, were saying that's where the real danger is, right out there.
Yeah. I'd say probably the roads are more dangerous than the racetrack, because cars, they don't have roll cages, and you have a seat belt, but
right.
It's not as much as our seat belts.
Sure.
And a lot of people, they might be texting or talking on their phone when we're always focused on the racetrack, and we're not usually looking up in the grandstands waving to people. We're always looking ahead what we're doing and making sure we're not going to run into somebody or just making sure we're on the race, like not cutting through the infield, sliding up into everybody when on the road people might not be paying as much of attention.
Yeah. How quickly do you think you'd wreck if you were texting and driving at the same time on T Road?
Very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd make the corner trying to text and go through a corner.
I mean, it just seems, I don't know. It just seems like you could get a lot more banged up out in the real world than you could on the track. And you could even end up upside down on Thunder Road, and you'd the biggest inconvenience you'd probably have was a little extra blood running to the head.
Yeah, I've seen cars roll over, and they always just unbuckle and slide out of the window upside down instead of the other way, and they're usually fine. I think they are pretty much always fine at Thunder Road. You're going fast, but not super fast.
You said you did a lot of mountain biking. Do you think that your mountain biking is maybe more dangerous than what you're doing in a race car?
Actually, yes, probably, because I like to do jumps and stuff. You hit one wrong jump and you fly off the bike and hit a tree.
Sure.
That would hurt way more. I felt, anyways.
You're not buckled in.
No, you're just hanging on and hope you don't fall off.
When I was a little bit younger than you, I tried to. Raylene knows this. She's heard the story 100 times. Tried to jump a parked car on my. See, he's laughing. Look at that little snicker. You and I would have been getting along real well. Yeah, piece of plywood on a trash can, big leaf pile for the landing pad. Oh yeah,
that didn't go very well.
It didn't. Shattered kneecap. I made it, but it was kind of a roll down the front of the hood into the leaf pile. But I made it. What about the time that you and Dad and Mom, I'm guessing, spend in the shop turning wrenches? And I'm guessing that there's a lot of work to do to get your car right. Oh
yeah, definitely. Mom, she helps cleaning stuff, clean the car, clean the trailer, help make sure the shop's clean. Dad helps me figure out how to fix things and make sure that everything's not just gonna fall off that I worked on. He checks it over and helps me, and he works on it himself. But we all have a little part, and my crew chief Brad, he helps a lot with making sure nothing's gonna fall off that I worked on during the week. I usually tell him what I worked on, and he always checks it over quickly just to make sure it's not gonna fall off because I didn't tighten something right.
And he lives close by in Shelburne?
No. He used to live 5 minutes away from the shop, but he just moved into a new house, and he lives a little bit farther away now, probably an hour.
Okay, wow. What was the reaction of Mom and Dad when you got that checkered flag and became the RK Miles street stock champion, youngest in Thunder Road history last September at age 13? What was their reaction like?
My dad, he doesn't exactly you could tell he's excited, but he doesn't show that much emotion about things. But my mom, she was definitely excited, maybe a couple tears or something, but she shows a lot more emotion than my dad.
Yeah. So what did she do? What did she say when you're still in the car, you're still in gear, you're pulling up, you just won this race, you got a checkered flag in your hand? What was she saying?
She just said, "Good job, buddy." And then on the way home, we talked about it more than when I was in the car. It was still kind of sinking in. And on the way home, that's when we talked about how I won the championship that year. We more not saying we won it. We tried to figure out how we won it, and we wanted to know what we could have done better.
I like that. Ooh, that's dangerous talk right there. When you start when you start talking like that, man, there's a lot more championships in the future for you, bud. Here we go. May 1st. My God, that's coming up. Just right around the corner here.
Yeah, this weekend.
No.
Oh, next next weekend.
Next weekend, I think it is. The 24th Community Bank 150. You're going to be going?
Yep, I'll be in my Tiger there this year, running for Rookie of the Year and a full season there.
Yeah, I was obviously going to ask you that. This is your first season in a Tiger car.
Yeah, I've raced the Tiger car. I raced at the Milk Bowl, and then I raced over at White Mountain a couple times doing the Triple Crown series over there. So I have a little bit of experience in the Tiger car, but not too much, just a little bit.
Have you been on Uncommon Deeds?
No, I have not been on there. I've listened to a couple of theirs, but I've never been on their podcast before.
Inside Groove?
Nope.
Well, listen, these guys, Nick Mumley, Dustin Tanner, I know they're going to have you on soon. Because, frankly, bud, you're kicking ass. Just like your dad. I mean, you're just ripping it up. How are you? Is there anything that you get a little intimidated about? I mean, you Tiger car, bro. This is different now.
I don't necessarily get like scared or anything. I might be like a little bit nervous before I go out there, but as soon as you fire up the car and start to roll out on the track, all that goes away, and you're focused on like what you're gonna do, not really worried about anything else. When you're racing, you don't think about it, you clear your mind and you don't think about anything except for going out there and winning it.
Just got a question here. What's your projected estimation on hitting the NASCAR circuit?
I have no idea.
Do you fantasize about that? Do you have a favorite NASCAR? Did you watch NASCAR?
I definitely watch NASCAR. I don't necessarily have a favorite driver. I like to watch and see what they do, because they're the best. So you want to know what they do and how they do it, and try and help yourself out by watching NASCAR.
Have you been to a NASCAR race?
I have, yes.
Which ones?
I actually went to the Daytona 500 this year.
Yes.
And then over in New Hampshire, I went to a race there when I was younger.
At Loudon?
Yep.
Yeah. Just those two?
Yep.
Which ones are you hoping to see next? Is there a particular race you'd love to see?
Well, I like short track racing, because that's what I do.
Wow.
I've only Loudon's, it's small for them, but it's really big for us. Like when the ACT tour goes there, that's the biggest track they go to, I believe. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to see like Martinsville or Bristol or something like that, probably.
So help me learn here. Will you have a spotter now that you're a Tiger?
Nope. You get a spotter when you are in late models. This year you rely on yourself knowing where cars are around you, and next year, if I go to a late model, that's when I'll get a spotter.
So what's in your ear?
Just the receiver. That's it. Earplugs, and so your ears, you don't lose your hearing. But other than that, it's a receiver, and they tell you when like you need to move up, or if there's a caution flag, so you don't pile into the rest of the field. But other than that, we don't have anything except for mirrors to know where cars are around us.
If you could have music in your ear, if that was allowed, what would it be?
I listen to hip-hop, but racing, I don't think I would want music because that would distract me. And racing, you really need to have focus on what you're doing.
Yeah. You have to be your own spotter. You have to be thinking 15, maybe 30 seconds ahead.
Yeah, you're always looking into the next corner, not like, don't look at your hood pins. You're always looking way ahead, so you don't just run into the back of the next car in front of you.
It's amazing to hear you talk like that at such a young age. I remember when I was learning how to drive, I think my driving instructor called that tracking. But yeah, you have to be way up ahead with your eyes, anticipating things.
Yeah, definitely.
And anticipating a little bit of trouble and what your exit plan is, how you're going to get out of it, how you're going to get away from it.
Well, Usually, in a car, you see if they're sliding up the track or coming back down. And usually, when they go up the track, if you're really far back, eventually they'll come back down to the bottom. They usually don't stay up high because everything, when it slides up, it comes back down. So if you're right there and they slide up towards the wall, you usually go underneath them. But if you're like in 20th place and the 5th place car wrecks, you try and slow down and just wait for them to roll back down the track before you go through.
Have you had a really crappy night, crappy experience on the track? Something goes wrong with the car, or maybe the car's great, but you're not driving well?
Well, in 2020, yeah. I was leading the race, and there was oil on the track, and I went into the corner, and I hit the oil, last corner, last lap, and I hit the oil. I went sideways, and I tried to save it, and I came back up across the track, and the second place car passed me, and he won the race, and I got T-boned by the rest of the field. They all plowed into me. That was probably my worst wreck at Thunder Road. But yeah, that was probably the worst time.
So how did you react to that? What were you screaming something in the car? What was coming out of your mouth?
Really, there wasn't much. When I got out, I said, did I win or did I get second? Or did I, not cross the line? I wasn't exactly sure where I got, and I ended up second, actually. So I still did okay, so that took a little bit off of...
Even T-boned?
Yeah.
Yeah. But were you angry?
More at myself than anything that I didn't save the car, but it was just really quick. All of a sudden, I was going through the corner just fine, and then I hit oil, and it went right around. It wasn't like I was driving and there was nothing there, and I just went around. That would have been a lot worse.
You've heard the expression. Your mom and dad have said this many times, I'm sure, in life. Shit happens. and stuff like this is going to happen, especially it's going to happen a lot as a driver. There's going to be circumstantial stuff that's out of your control. Someone wrecks, you wreck because they wrecked, and stuff like this. This can be a very emotional experience. There's so much time and so much money and so much hope and effort and support that all goes into this. And then when you're out on the track, stuff can happen that's not your fault, that takes your night out. It takes everything away from you.
Yeah. Usually when that happens, we just we assess what happened and make sure we can do better the next time it happens. And when something like that happens, you just got to look forward and get ready for the next week. Because you got to make it to the next week.
Right. And try not to wreck.
Yeah.
Jason Corliss was just in here, and he said something that I'll remember. It says, or he said, it's hard to make a car faster when you're putting it back together every week.
Yep, that's definitely true. So if I don't wreck it, my crew chief Brad, he can make the car go faster with setup wise, and then rather than putting new body panels on it or straightening the car, or so if you don't wreck, you can put more time into going faster than making sure you can make it to the next race.
Yeah. What about other kids who are right around your age, maybe a little bit younger? They see you. They know you at school or otherwise, or on social media. They know what you're doing. And they know that you've got a couple of pretty good notches in your belt here right out of the chute. My God, at age 13, getting a win at Thunder Road when you're 12. What do you say to kids who might be your age or a little bit younger, who are just kind of haven't done this yet, but they might be thinking about it a little bit, or maybe quietly kind of dreaming about being a 14-year-old Kaiden Fisher?
Yeah, definitely. I encourage more people my age to come race. It's a lot of fun. You get to spend a lot of time with family at the racetrack, and you can make a lot of friends at the racetrack. Most people at the racetrack are really nice, and they want to help you. Like, say you break something, they'll help you find a part or something like that. But it's a lot of fun, I think, and you spend a lot of time on it, though. That's the only thing. You got to be committed, and you got to make sure you're gonna not just give up halfway through the year. You have to make it all the way through, or make sure you are gonna not lose interest in it the first year.
Even if you're kind of sucking.
Yeah, that's what practice and races are for, to get better. The more you do it, the better you get. The more you can figure out on your car what to make better, and just things like that.
Yeah. You know, Thunder Road's been around for more than 60 years.
I did not know that exactly, but I know the Milk Bowl has been happening for, like, I think 54 years or 56, something like that.
Yes. Long time before Mom and Dad were born.
Yeah.
So here you are, the youngest champion in Thunder Road history. When you last September became the RK Mile Street Stock champion at age 13, how did the other drivers on Thunder Road receive you? What did they do when that happened? When you had that checkered flag?
Most of, or all of them, they were like, "Congrats, good job." You can tell that they're like being beat by somebody younger.
Lot younger.
They a little bit were like, I don't know. You could just tell they were happy for me, but it hurt a little bit that I was so young when I did it.
But I heard that someone told me, I don't know who it was, but that they picked you up and.
No, I don't think I didn't get picked up.
Yeah.
I
wasn't you?
No.
All right.
But I don't know who that would have been.
All right. But these adults, I mean, they've got to be happy for you.
Yeah.
14 years old. Because some of these adults, honestly, I'm not joking here. In another couple of years, they may not be driving.
Right.
They might be fat, old, balding, and drinking beer up on Bud Hill, watching Kaiden Fisher kicking ass and saying to themselves, I used to be on the track with that kid at the same time. Right?
Yeah. I've heard a couple people say that I don't know if anybody's like stopped racing since I've raced. Most of the people that I raced in street stocks, they raced a couple years before that and are still racing in street stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Some people did move up, but I don't know of anybody that stopped racing and they just go up into Bud Hill and drink and watch me. But I know my mom's friends, my dad's friends, they go up and watch me.
Yeah. Speaking of drinking and stuff like that, you know, here you are, you're at a point in your life where you're going to start seeing, especially going into high school next year at CVU, you're going to start seeing kids your age going a little bit to the left, and then a few others are going to be going to the right, and not so many are going to be driving down the middle of the road. Kids your age are going to be starting to make bad decisions in life. They're going to start using drugs. They're going to be boozing all the time. What do you think? Looking into your own crystal ball, it's got to be a level of self-discipline that goes with this sport of what you're doing. You need to have your act together.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to take this like immensely serious, more serious than most 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds are are adjusted to or can cope with the responsibility of this. But dude, it's like you've already got you got some history going here already. You can't screw this up, man. You got to make some good decisions in your life. You can't be doing drugs and stuff like that.
Right. And that's what I feel like why it's good to have hobbies instead of going to I don't know, parties or somewhere and drinking and doing drugs. You can be down at your shop with people working on your race car instead.
Wow. That's got to make your mom and dad really sigh some relief. that you have you got a sport that, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Life is dangerous.
Right.
Life is dangerous. And frankly, there's a lot of things that are a hell of a lot more dangerous than running around in circles up at Thunder Road.
Yeah, definitely. Like driving on the roads. Like you said, people my age, maybe they drank or had drugs before, and now they're driving on the road.
Right.
You got to watch out for that, and you never know when something's just going to happen.
You're saying this. Yeah. Not me, you. And that's badass. I love to hear it. What do you think what do you think high school's going to be like? Where are your interests in high school? What do you think you would like subjects?
Well, I like math, science. I'm not a huge fan of reading and things like that. I like a lot of hands-on things.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing metalworking and woodworking next year. But those are like the only two classes really that in the first year of your school year or of CVU you can do. Once you get older, you can do more things. I know there's a couple tech schools that you can go and be an auto mechanic or something like that. That would be pretty cool to work on cars for school and yeah.
Amazing. Did you see the Woodards the other day?
I watched some of it. Yeah.
Tanner.
Yes.
Who's 17, who's just destroying it. I mean, he's doing so well. And Kelsey.
Yeah.
And Albie Ovitt, who's their crew chief.
Yeah.
Jason Woodard.
I know the Woodards. I don't know Albie real well.
Have you been over to their shop over in Waterbury? Have you seen that garage over there?
No, I have not seen it over there. I've raced with Tanner, though. I raced with him in the street stocks.
Yep.
And then I've raced with him over at White Mountain quite a bit in the Tigers. And Thunder Road last year in the Milk Bowl, I raced against him.
Do you know Nick Sweet?
I do a little bit. My dad knows him more.
Yeah. And he's building chassis and putting cars together and stuff. You should get over to his shop sometime, dude. He's right here in Barrie.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like looking at shops and race cars and things like that.
Do you have your eye on the late model? Is this something that how long do you want to be in a Tiger car?
To be honest, probably only this year. Probably next year I'd like to go to a late model.
Slow the hell down.
But if this year doesn't go good, then I'll probably stick in Tigers for a couple of years until I can do good in Tigers.
But if you have an unbelievable Tiger season this coming, you're going to want to get into a late model right away?
Yeah, definitely.
Is Dad thinking about knocking off a bank here?
Yeah, definitely expensive.
Yeah.
But I know he's been working on things for late models and trying to get one ready for me.
He's got to.
Yeah.
He's got to. It's probably not going to be long before you're in a late model, dude.
Yeah. That'll be pretty cool once I can, because that's one of the highest divisions in New England. There are pass cars, and they travel everywhere over in New England, but ACT's more what I see around here.
Few of these late model drivers that have gone recently have talked about what it feels like to drive a late model at Loudon. Cars set up completely differently. Is that something that you're like, man, someday I hope I get invited to the Invitational?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to go there and
drive 200 miles an hour?
Yeah, I know it's pretty fast there.
150?
Yeah, I don't think it's quite 200, 150, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But I know it's fast there, and probably the fastest I've ever gone around a racetrack is like 90 maybe. I don't exactly know how fast tigers
But
go.
now that we're talking about like 150 and we're saying numbers like 150 and 200, a few more gray hairs growing from Mom. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Definitely. I know she gets a little bit scared
Yeah.
how fast I'm going, but
Naturally.
cars are safe. And we spent a lot of time working on safety things and
Right.
make sure that no seatbelt or anything's going to fall off or anything like that.
Sure.
And you got your seat and seat belts, cage, all that. So it's pretty safe.
Snow machine for you. But what about a four-wheeler, dirt bike, anything like that? Other things to get hurt on.
Yeah, I've definitely ridden four-wheelers and dirt bikes. My grandparents, I mostly go up there. They have dirt bikes and four-wheelers, and I ride those on my free time in the summer, but don't have much of that in the summertime.
You must be just like a fish out of the water during winter. You and Dad, just dreaming and thinking about spring and summer.
Yeah, definitely winter. It's a little bit slower and long, but we work on race cars still in the winter to make sure they're ready for summertime and snowmobiling. But other than that, we don't do too much in the winter.
Yeah. Will we ever be able to get Jamie Fisher to come in here?
I'd say probably not. He's not much of a talker. Yeah, I don't know.
Those are the scary type. Those are the ones that scare me. But brother, you've got a great personality. You're good into the mic. You're going to be doing this a lot more. I'm telling you. I guarantee it. Bet my life on it. So we all, there's so many of us that say congratulations to you. We're so proud to have one of our own Vermonters doing so well at such a young age. You're an outstanding young man. You're going to do very, 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 very well in your life.
Thank you.
I didn't say specifically the racetrack. I said in your life, because you have the mindset, you have the attitude, you have the focus, the self-discipline. These are all things that you need to carry with you through your life, and you're going to do, no matter what you do, I think you're going to do very well.
Thanks.
And man, I'm not up at Thunder Road every Thursday night, but this summer, I'm telling you, Raylene, mark my damn word here. I gotta get up and see you run, man.
Yeah, definitely. Come down. The stands are probably the better area to watch, but if you want to see and talk to people, come to the pits. And there's we don't have a ton of free time when we're there, but sometimes when there's races going on and things, definitely come down, and people are nice there. So
yeah, I've never been in the pits at Thunder Road. Never.
Yeah. Just watch out for cars.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. Give me your autograph, buddy, right there.
Okay, I will.
I want an autograph right now from Kaiden Fisher. Number 8. Make sure you put the number 18 on there, bud. We're so proud of you. This kid is, honestly, been wanting you on for a year now, and I'm so happy that you were able to make it here to Barrie to come and sit down with us in our studio. Thanks to Mom for driving you all this way. Thanks for Dad for putting up with us, harassing him, asking to have you on the show. We're just so proud of you, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And please come back soon.
Yeah, I will for sure.
We hope you will. Kaiden Fisher, right there. Number 18, live on the Aired Out podcast. Thunder Road driver, youngest champion in history up at the track. Live from the ASB Financial Studios and Fly on the Wall Productions, right here, Main Street, Barrie, Vermont. Thanks, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.